Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Let's see who we have in the room. Please drop your location for me. Let me know where you are diving in from. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm gonna mic check. If you can hear me, also drop a 1. I want to make sure that the mic is on and that you can hear me as well. I know for those who are the faithful ones, I'll get to going and moving my neck and my hands, and people cannot hear what I'm saying because the mute is still on. So also drop a 1 if you can hear me okay. But I want to see who's in the room. Let me know. Latanya from Augusta, Georgia. GA. I love it. Welcome, Latanya. I'm so happy you're here. While we're letting people get settled and come in, I just want to say that entrepreneurship is tough. Entrepreneurship is so tough. And at times, right, you wonder whether the time that you're putting in and not spending with your family, or not sleeping, right, or not making the easy bread that can be made from working on somebody else's dream, right? Sometimes you question yourself, you question whether your timing was right. You're welcome, Latanya. And just know that that's natural, that's normal. That's true for everyone, from the most visible people to the ones that are still in their kitchen, right? Cooking get up from scratch by themselves. And I'll also say that being Black women is especially hard because we're often bootstrapping and we don't have outside funding, right? Just to give you a stat on that, since the beginning of this thing called VC funding, venture capital funding, there's only been 93 Black women that have received at least $1 million in funding. Only 93, right? There's so many firms out there, so many startups, so much money that's being dished out, but only 93 Black women have ever received funding of at least $1 million. And what's even more sad is that number is actually triple what it was in 2016. So I just want to tap in with you and let you know, I'm seeing a glare, and let you know that you are right in feeling like your struggle is unique. And feeling like you have bigger hurdles to climb than other people. But I do this on purpose for Black women because I am absolutely committed to helping you get there and making sure you do not fall, because nobody is coming to save us. We have been caping for our families, for our loved ones, for our communities, for our country, for other people's babies, right? For centuries, literally centuries, right? And it's time for us to build our own table. It's time for us to establish what belonging looks like for ourselves and others. And I can't let you quit. I can't let you quit. I structured loans for the biggest tech companies you can imagine: Dell, Apple, even your Pinterest, your Airbnbs, etc. I structured loans for 10 years, and I know the caliber of the people that sit on the other side of those tables. And I promise you, you are just as smart, you are just as capable. It's just that you have not had the same opportunities as others, but I am here to give you those opportunities. So thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for doing this. Keep rocking with me. I promise. I am committed to helping you edify every part of your life and seeing your dreams manifest. So with that said, today's webinar is going to be a little different from others because this concept around finding your target customers is very, very tricky. I'm going to change my lighting since it's like glaring so much. But it's very, very tricky, right? And I'm going to need to interact with you a good bit to make sure that you understand it here. Not just with your eyes, but understand it here, right? And we're going to talk about my WWJD method in doing this. But to start, And Latanya, I'm gonna have to put you on the spot since since people are being a little Nina, hi, welcome. Nina, let us know where you're dropping in from. We have Augusta in the house, a GA person. But I'm going to do this a little different today in that I'm not just going to show you slides and you take notes, right? And I hope it registers with you. Like, I need your full participation today, so that we really understand this concept of finding your target customers. To start, I'm going to ask, I just want to poll the group, right? So tell me where you think the best place is to find your target customers, right? You tell me, right? And think about, right, what your customer is, you know, what they look like, what they need, what you're selling. Where do you think the best place, right? Not all places, but the best place is to find your target customer. And again, just getting a feel of where your minds are, and what you think you need to leverage today. Don't be shy about this. Where do you think the best place? What do you think is the best place to find your target customers? And think about reach, right? Think about, you know, where your customers are. Think about what's easily accessible to you. What do you think? Latanya says to start within my community. Got it. So it's different from what's listed. Okay. And we're going to unpack this a little more, but again, just getting, sorry, I didn't even show it to you on the screen. Keep me straight. Of what is listed, what do you think? Social media seems like the easy answer, but I would say schools, daycares, etc. Got it. Okay, I got some poll results. So we say, okay, got it. So Instagram and It Depends are tied, right? And I'm gonna assume that the Instagram was alongside the statement of, right, social media seems like the easy answer, but also schools and daycares. All right, cool. So before I give the answer to that, I have another question for you. Think about the last cleaning product that you purchased. Whatever that was, right? Think about the last cleaning product that you purchased. How did you find out about the product? And this is you specifically. How did you, and whatever it was, if it was a sponge, if it was a natural dish cleaning product, if it was a mop, right? How did you find out about it? Word of mouth has the lead right now. I'm going to let it sit for a second. All right. So word of mouth has the lead. Do you see how powerful that is, right? So our thoughts, right? I asked you what the best platform to leverage for marketing is, right? And it depends. It's kind of ambiguous, right? And Instagram was tied with It Depends. Yet your last cleaning product, right? I intentionally chose something very, very random, was word of mouth, 100%, right? So it makes this thing very, very tricky. I will tell you this. WWJD stands for, we will join them. Like literally, I don't care what you read on blogs. I don't care what you read in statistical reports, etc. The important thing to do is understanding that you will have to find your customers where they are, because the likelihood of you, I'm talking about you, the likelihood of you exerting energy and effort and brain power and discomfort to go use a product, right, that has already not met you where you are, whether it be word of mouth, right? Your friends are already talking about it and your friends have similar interests as you, so they're telling you about it, right? Whether it be showing up at conferences because you already go there, right? Because you have a need, right? Whether it be ad that comes on a radio station that you typically listen to, right? Like it is joining your customers where they are, not thinking that someone, because you don't do it, right? Not thinking that someone's gonna get up out of their chair, go find you, go sit and wait for you to come, wait for the message that you have to give them, and then pull out their checkbook and pay, right? And this is why I'm not doing a slide presentation on this, because I need to integrate you in this whole teaching so that you understand it here. All right. So I need someone to come to the stage with me. I do not bite. You see, I'm very, very casual on purpose today. Like, do not give me an excuse of you're not camera ready. I need you to join me in being how I woke up, right? How you woke up, and go through another kind of exercise with me. So if you see that speak hand in your pane, hit that button, and I want to pull a person on stage with me. Do not be shy. Do not be shy. And let me know if you can't see the speak button. You should see that hand, that raised hand. But let me know if you don't see it. Okay, beautiful. All right, beautiful. Nina's coming up. And you guys sort of, Nina, do you see, it looks like I should have maybe practiced this a little bit. Do you see an ability to show your video now? And write this in the chat for me. I see you. Hey. Okay. So at the top, you'll be able to unmute your mic with that mic icon. You can turn on your video with that circular icon that looks like a circle with two sticks. Hello, beautiful.
Hello. I'm looking real homely today too.
Hey, look, I'm with you, right? Like, I did this intentionally, so there's no excuses. I appreciate you because you are a part of the learning, right? So I'm gonna ask you a few questions, right? And just be very, very honest with me, okay?
Okay.
You can't get this wrong. You're gonna get this 100% right. I promise you. You can't get this wrong. All right. So, Nina, when you're watching TV, what are your like 3 go-to channels?
Go-to shows, home, searching for home shows, you know, House Hunters, Beach House Hunters, reality TV, and sports games.
Got it. Okay. So your top 3 shows are House Hunter type shows, reality TV shows, me too, love it, and sports games. All right, beautiful. All right, so next question. When you need a pick-me-up, say like you have had a really, really stressful week, and you're feeling really down and stressed, and you need to get away, or whatever you do, right, to recharge your battery, what are 2 things that you do?
Drink wine.
Yep.
And listen to music.
And listen to music. Okay, and then follow-up question to that: what kind of music do you listen to?
If I need to mellow out, it's gonna be R&B or neo soul. If I'm in a high energy mood, it's gonna be a little more hip hop and something with a little more beat to it.
Got it. So when you are really, really, really stressed, neo soul and R&B is what your go-to is, just naturally.
Yes.
Yep. That's huge. And I heard the conviction in your yes. All right. So think about this, right? Say there is a company that specializes in Black women kind of being well and whole, right? Like we know, like we're in a whole wave right now, right, of wellness and self-care, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? But it is very difficult for companies to be the pick me one, right? Like there's so many things being offered, right? By Black companies, non-Black companies, right? Behemoths, right? Amazon. I mean, everybody's on this wave, right? People can try to find their target customers by having a bunch of followers and sending out the same thing to the followers, right? Or they can really, really understand who their customers are through and through and through and through, right? Mm-hmm. And really show up WWJD. We will join them, show up where they already are. So say you're listening to a Pandora station with R&B music, and Nina, the Black woman who loves to drink wine and listen to R&B, and neo soul, especially when she's sad, a commercial pops up during one of your R&B Pandora listeners, and then you hear, "Are you tired? Are you stressed? You need to pick me up." That's gonna hit, right? Because they've joined you where you are, right? Mm-hmm. And so there are literally millions of products that can give you a solution, but this product has found you where you are. I'll give you another example. So say a company is looking for Black female business owners to give money to. They want to give Black female business owners loans, right? And you can't just give it out for free. People need to apply. And in order to apply, they need to know about who you are. Now, we know about Bank of America. We know about Wells Fargo, right? We know about credit unions, but they're not targeting Black women. So on no day does a Black woman wake up and say, "Oh my gosh, Bank of America is made for me. I'm going to apply," right? But Black women need money, right? Yeah. So let's say a firm, and they could have only existed for 3 months, but let's say they understand their target customer so well that they know that the chances of their target customer watching Real Housewives of Atlanta is like 70%, right? It's only a 30% chance that they're not catching it. Yeah. So say they go to YouTube, right, and hyper target their ads for people who watch Real Housewives of Atlanta replays, right? Anything pertaining to that, right? Say they do that. The likelihood of them finding their target customer is so much higher than generic ads that Bank of America will. And these are big old companies, right? It's so much higher than these big behemoth companies because, right, they have joined their target customer where they are. So this is so hard to do. This is why I did this illustration before I explained the concept. You need to know who your target customer is through and through. What they watch on TV, what they do when they're stressed, right? Who they call on the phone to talk to, what their girlfriends talk about. Because 100% of y'all said your last cleaning product you got from word of mouth. So we got to figure out who your circle is, right? What they do. And the conversion rate, and conversion means of all the people that's seeing your stuff, who's buying, the conversion rate for you will be so much higher than even the Amazons of the world who are not targeting specifically. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Okay. Bet. Thank you so much, Nina. I appreciate you so much. I'll let you go. All right. And then now, Latanya, you're in the hot seat, Shawty. I saw you raise your hand. Thank you for being an amazing trooper. So come on, so raise the speak hand and we'll do a similar activity. Again, I just want to make sure you feel it right here, not just up here, because this thing feels a lot more daunting than it really is, right? And my goal is to explain it in terms you understand, right? Using examples that matter to you, right? So that you go to the next level. All right. So Latanya is a trooper. I'm going to let her video calibrate. I'm excited about this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Thank you so much. And drop a note in the chat if you're having any tech difficulties, and I'll make sure to help you troubleshoot. I don't see you yet, but I'll give it a few seconds because I know even Nina's video took a minute to calibrate. But while we're waiting for you to, I think I see another speak option. Okay, I'm hitting it again. While we're waiting for you to come in, I want to just talk about mindset principles, right? So WWJD is literally a mindset principle. It is pushing you to not be generic, right? To not waste your marketing dollars even on just blasting out something everywhere, or wasting your time even, right? On putting together promotional marketing materials that are not hyper targeted. We will join them. What would Jesus do? This one is we will join them. This one is pushing you to go where they are, because you do not spend your money just on anybody that pushes an ad to you. You ignore emails all day. Just like me, I'm sure you have hundreds of unread emails that are just marketing generic promotional materials, right? If anything, I don't care if it's somebody's cookout, right? If it feels like too much friction to get there, drop a 1 if you agree with me. If it feels like too much friction to get there, you're not going, right? But if it's the barbecue truck that's pulling up outside, the Meals on Wheels, you will walk outside, right? So we have to change our mindset around marketing and really get into the heads of our consumers, right? Really get into their heads and join them where they at, right? Let me look in the chat. I keep getting knocked out. Oh, Latanya, I'm so sad about this. All right, but you're on the hot seat. Nina, feel free to participate in this as well. We'll try it a different way. So we'll leverage the chat function. So you said that for your particular customers, the best place for you to find them is in your community. Give me some more specifics on that. What are you selling, right? And who is your target customer, right? What do they look like? And this doesn't need to be like, you can literally give me sound bites, right? 2 words at a time. Just help me understand, and Nina, you can feel free to do this too, but help me understand what you're selling, right? And what your customer looks like, just so I can contextualize your comment about finding them in your community. I'll give that a second to come in. You guys are doing great, by the way. Again, the question is what product you're selling, even if you haven't already sold it today, right? Because you're going to do this same exercise literally for every single thing that you sell. The answer should not be, it is never that each thing that you sell, your strategy is the same, right? And you just blasting it out there and seeing what comes back. Nah, like that's not it. It is literally specifying for whatever product you're selling, who your target customer is, right? And then we'll get into the weeds of really teasing out, right, what their profile is. And those are called avatars. Write that word down. Avatar, your customer avatar is the demographic, how much money they can make, what they can afford to buy, how much they spend on luxury items, right? Are they a do-it-yourself person? These things matter, right? Where did they go to school? Did they go to school at all, right? Are they family oriented? Are they more loners, right? Are they overachievers, right? Are they people that are usually afraid and a little hesitant? Like, and as I'm saying this, I'm sure, drop a 1 in the chat if you're feeling me. I'm sure you're starting to understand why these things are important. Like, it's not just, hey, come and buy. Nobody's gonna buy. It is literally understanding who they are, what their style is, and speaking in their language. So they're like, oh my gosh, she is talking to me. I'm coming, right? I'm buying. Okay, so Latanya says, women accessories, jewelry, handbags, beautiful. My cousin normally helps with telling her friends, got it. I inform her inner circle. Okay, beautiful. So you are selling accessories for women, such as jewelry, handbags, right? And word of mouth is typically the way that you sell today. And which is why you said in my community, definitely understand it. And word of mouth is not a bad thing at all, right? It is not a bad thing at all because I trust my friend even if I don't trust the brand, right? I trust my mama and her style and what she likes and the quality of her stuff, right? Even if I've never heard of the brand before. So don't discount that. I think it's fire, honestly, Latanya, that you understand the power of word of mouth and you're leveraging your network, because even if these people don't know you, right, you're going to capitalize off of the integrity and the credibility of these people in your market. Now, the power of what I'm teaching you today gives you scale because you have 2 hands, 1 mouth, 2 eyes, 2 ears, right? So the people in your network, you're not talking to 1,000 people. You're just not, right? It would be beautiful if you could talk to 1,000 people efficiently and they talk to 1,000 people. That's not how it goes, right? So what you're doing, right? What you're doing today is fire. I'm happy it's a part of your marketing funnel, meaning the way that you get out general awareness about your brand, right? But scaling that, right, is hard. And scale, we talked about this last week. Nina understands this. Well, and you may too, Latanya, but scale is different from growth, because when your company is growing in revenue, that's good, but it doesn't necessarily mean your profit increases, because to grow in revenue, your expenses might be growing at the same rate. You might be hiring now another person to give a word of mouth speech to people and have the time to do it, right? Which means your bottom line is not increasing. Scale, right, is when your costs are staying the same, right? But you invested in technology, automation, or whatever else, so that as your revenue grows, your costs stay low, and so your bottom line gets higher, right? So I say all of that to say, definitely understand, inspire. Majority of the women I know are church goers. Oh, so you getting into it now, Latanya. You getting into it now. Latanya said the majority of the women I know are church goers, mid-age, professional women. Fire. Like, you're getting into it now. So in order to scale what you are doing by word of mouth today, you got to join them. Not just the people that your cousins know, right? But your target customers, wherever they are, they're at church. Legit have church flyers, right? If there are, what do they call it when you used to eat out of the trunk? I think like homegoing, potluck style, whatever's, right? If they're doing events around that, like literally showing up, right? And meeting strangers and talking to them, or handing out business cards, right? You said professional women, right? They need to, maybe they have a new interview, right? Literally have an interview that they're showing up for. And so they might need your accessories. So leveraging Google search, right? Buying an ad on there. So anytime somebody types in like interview prep or whatever, like your business comes up, right? Like, this is the power of understanding your customer avatar, what they do, how they sleep, what they wear to bed, what they're watching on TV, how they spend their money. Because you will stand out from the behemoths that we know of, Amazon's, Walmart's, etc., right? Because you are joining them where they are. I hope that makes sense. And it gives you scale, right? Because you're no longer just saying word of mouth. You are actually investing in marketing strategies that just go where they are, right? Like Pandora has an ad, YouTube has an ad, Google search has an ad, and we've all seen these ads at the top. Anybody can buy them. That's you, Nina. That's you, Latanya. Anybody can buy them, and you can literally tell it. Like, when people search for this, show this. Like, literally, it can be that hyper targeted. Let's get into what Nina just said in the chat. She is selling coaching services. Okay, beautiful. I have a question. Does it make sense for your customer to be you? When you answer all those questions and your responses describe you. I love this question so much. So what I take from that question is, and Nina, let me know in the chat if I'm interpreting it incorrectly. What I take from that is, as you are thinking about fleshing out your avatar needs to literally have flesh and be a person, so you know how to talk to them and find them. What if you're describing yourself, right? What if all the answers that you give is what you would assume? I'd say 100% that starting there is a baseline is good, but don't stay there. Starting there as a baseline is good because we're not waiting for perfection. It's progress over perfection. So instead of you waiting for 3 months trying to figure out what else your customer might need or want, or who they are, or what they watch on TV and where they go, you can use yourself as a baseline if you feel like you are a target customer, if you are the target profile for what you're giving, right? Start that as a baseline and start your marketing strategy there. 100%, I agree. But don't stay there. So this is going to segue me into my next topic around WWJD. We will join them. You need to figure out who they are, right? Because there are going to be some differences and nuances that you don't have. How do I know? Because you're providing the solution, right? The people that you're targeting to don't have the solution. They have a pain point that needs to be met, right? They're empty in ways that you're not empty today because you're actually providing their solution, right? So you need to figure out who they are. Someone might say, how do I figure that out, Casey? I am glad you asked. You have to do market research. I'm going to give you the politically correct term for this. That is a real term in marketing. That is a real term in business management and strategy execution. Market research, write that down, right? You need to conduct market research where you are actually going out into the market. The market means your target customers, right? Where they are, and you are getting data. You're getting data to make informed decisions. I talk a lot in my coaching programs, in my Blaze Business Intensive, in my one-on-one consulting about data. And this word sounds very scary to people because they're like, I'm not a numbers person. I don't know how to leverage data. I'm going to make this very, very simple for you, but you 100% need to understand how to leverage data as a business manager to really scale and grow your business. Okay. How do you get the data? Well, conduct interviews. That's simple, y'all. So what you would do is, and literally write this down. This is a strategy I use, for instance, for my Blaze Business Intensive, a powerful 6-week course, right? Which is a coaching service. It helps Black women, right, automate their businesses. It helps them do business management processes like a ninja, right? It helps them forecast out projections, right? But I did market research and gathered data on their avatars. How did I do that? I put out, and please write this down, I put out a Facebook post. It cost me $0. And I said, hi, I've spent 10 years in corporate America helping business owners, blah, 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 right? So I established my credibility there. I said, I'd love to talk to some Black female business owners to understand your pain points and challenges. And then I ended with a call to action that said, I'm looking to talk to 3 to 5 people by Friday. It was a Tuesday when I posted this. I'm looking to talk to 3 to 5 women by Friday. Send me an inbox or inbox me if you're interested, because I was conducting market research. Sounds very, very technical. It is, but the execution is simple, right? And then I had conversations. People inboxed me. I got on their calendar. Some people wanted to just like immediately because they were so excited about hearing that somebody was looking to offer solutions for their pain points as a Black female business owner. I am a Black female business owner, so I think it established credibility very quickly, right? From that regard. But I had conversations with them, y'all. And I literally asked them questions like, what have you already tried? So I know where they are, right? I literally said, what are the 2 things that keep you up at night? So I know what their biggest pain point is, because the gunshot wound, y'all, the gunshot wound is what's going to get people to buy. If you can talk to them and talk about the gunshot wound, the things they've already put a Band-Aid on, they find, y'all know how it is when dollars are tight and y'all starting a business, they gonna keep on trekking with, with the Band-Aid on. But if you solve the problem of the gunshot wound, they will convert so quickly. So I asked them, what keeps you up at night? Like what are the things you are most afraid of? I asked them questions like, where do you want to be 1 year from now, right? What is your business goal 1 year from now? I asked them questions like, describe to me your ideal lifestyle, right? And so I took all of that data from several different women, right? And I found parallels. They had the same things keeping them up at night. Uncertainty about finances and worrying that they wouldn't be able to pay their bills, right? Because they didn't know how to generate the profit fast enough to cover their expenses. A very common goal for them was expansion in their businesses, right? They wanted to see their product on shelves. They wanted to have kiosks and booths at the mall, right? Their ideal lifestyle was having help. I mean, it's so deep, right? Because if I went out there without doing market research and getting data, this is qualitative data, and I said, imagine yourself driving a BMW and sunshade, Versace shades on, and the wind at your back. If I did an ad like that, y'all, even if that's my ideal life, But the woman that I'm targeting said that she just wants to be able to afford to have help. And they said this, by the way, and she said she wants to be able to show up at dinner with her son and actually hear how his day went and hear who he played with on the playground, because she had time to do that versus being buried in her office and not having time for her family. If I put out that what I described first and not describing these gunshot wounds, right? These ideal lifestyles in a year, my conversions would be 0 because I'm just targeted to market it to myself, right? But I was able to lift their experiences, their data they gave me, where they said they already were, and use that in my marketing language, use that in my Facebook posts, right? Use that in the graphics I sent. And I mean, literally getting my targets customers coming in. First, I had to know where they were, right? But once I know where they are and I'm ready to market to them, I'm using market research data I've collected from them to speak their language, right? Give me some feedback. Let me know if this is resonating. I hope that it is. Latanya said, interesting, outside of the box. Great, beautiful. I'm very happy that this is helping you think about this in a different way. This is strategy. Now again, I'm making it very simple because it is. Like I said before, these people on the other side of the table where I was structuring multi-billion-dollar deals. I mean, I did a $100 billion deal a few years ago for the largest tech merger that was going to happen in the industry. I said it was going to happen because Trump signed an executive order to block it. Great, we were in the Wild Wild West, y'all. But this stuff that I'm telling you is the exact same strategy and execution and mindset principles that these companies were leveraging. It's just that these things are not taught to us, and they're definitely not put in terms that we can understand. So I'm intentionally making it simple for you. I hope it's resonating, though. Let me know, if anything is not making sense, and I'm happy to unpack it a little more. But I'm happy that this is resonating, Latanya. Nina said, great advice, Casey. Okay, good. All right, so we've talked about, and I'm repeating these things because I usually do presentations. Nina knows this. She comes to virtually all of these, but this one is very complex, and I need to integrate you into this so that you believe me and you understand what I'm talking about. All right, so we talked about understanding the fact that you need to stop hoping that people come to you and find you where you are, and actually understanding who our target customer is, developing avatars for them. I'll say it again, how much they make in a year, right? Whether they buy luxury items at all, right? How they spend their time, their demographics, their gender, what they watch on TV, what their pain points are, whether they're outgoing or reserved, right? Whether they're well educated or not at all, right? Or undereducated, right? Underserved, right? Fleshing all those out. We talked about understanding that so that we can WWJD, we will join them, right? We talked about taking a step further. Yes, you start somewhere, like Nina was saying. I think this sounds like me. Okay, boom, I'm gonna flesh it out, as if it were me. But we talked about doing market research, which is absolutely critical for business management. And I'm telling you, you need, as you have new launches and different things, you need to continuously do that. Don't do it all through the year just because you need to launch, right? Like once you get enough data, launch that product. But for the next one, right, think about creative ways, right, that you can leverage market research and literally speak to your customers using their own words, right? So now I want to get into, and this will be the third prong of how to start testing where they are, right? So you have a profile, so you have an idea of where they are. You have the language because you've talked to them, and so you know exactly what buzzwords to use, what pain points are, how your solutions fit into that, right? But then there's this third and important piece, and this will be the last piece that I expand on. Let me know if you have any questions on this, please. But it is testing the waters in different places, right? To figure out if you are in the right places. So what a lot of people do, which is not wise at all, is they'll make an ad, they'll send it out there, and then they have no idea whether it's helpful or not, right? You do a Facebook post and you have no idea if it led to sales or not. You don't even know how the people are showing up, to your website, right? You do a Facebook ad where it shows sponsored at the top, but you have no idea what is generating. You show up to a workshop, right? You do a workshop or you do a Facebook Live join, etc. You have no idea whether it's stuck, right? That's a mistake. Number two, it is a mistake to, even though it's tempting, it's a mistake to overexert yourself and try to be everywhere at one time, right? Try to have a very strong presence on Facebook, trying to have a very strong presence on Twitter, trying to have a very strong presence on Pinterest, trying to have a very strong presence on LinkedIn, trying to have a very strong presence on your own website, blog, trying to have a very strong presence on podcasts. Like, you are one person, and if you have employees, I think that's beautiful. Definitely divide and conquer. That is super fire, and that is always the goal, right, for expansion. But if you're starting out and you are trying to be everywhere at the same time, like, do not do that. Please do not do that. What I want to talk about now is being very strategic and mindful about where you're showing up, and now taking data from those different platforms to optimize your performance. So what I mean by that is, because I just said a lot of technical terms, you did an avatar, you did a customer avatar, you've done market research, and you really understand where your customers are outside of what you assumed in the beginning, right? Now you need to, because you're just one person, you need to pick the places, but I'm going to say place on purpose, because now I'm talking about social media marketing, for instance. You need to pick the place that is most optimal, right? And really lean into that. So I'll use an example. If you are looking for, say the customer avatar is very well educated, that they have a really big network, right? They're socialites, but in the professional arena, they're a part of organizations, they're on boards, etc. Right? So I'm fleshing this out, right? You probably want to start on LinkedIn and not just Instagram, right? Because LinkedIn is a network of what? Professionals. Right? LinkedIn is where people go, like, sign up to connect with other professionals and to get ins, right? Get leads on companies where they might want to work at, or follow influencers who actually give business advice and professionalism advice and branding, professional branding within a company advice, right? So I say this to mean, do not overexert yourself and try to be everywhere, because in the beginning, because your effectiveness is going to be 1/10 of what it should be, right? Pick the platform. If you're really good on one, you might be able to handle two, but pick the platform that is most ideal for your target customer. Really lean into that and learn how effective you're being and how to be most effective. And then as that becomes like clockwork, then you add on more, okay? So bridge yourself to this. As Black women, we are so used to being the strong Black women and acting like we're robots and doing everything. I'm trying to teach you that if you are doing it all, you're doing it wrong. We have to be thoughtful about what we're doing. So pick the few. So I'll use Instagram in this example. Instagram is where most of my leads have come from today. That's starting to transition. Why is it transitioning? Because I leaned into Instagram very heavily. I learned how to leverage the data. I learned which posts got the most reactions for follows on my page. I learned which posts had the most reactions for buys. I learned which posts had the most actions for people to go to my website and sign up, right? And then I had more time because I was just that much more better at it. Then I had time to lean into other platforms. So now the platforms are starting to take more of my market share, but I'll start with Instagram. So, and this is an example, but you need to do this on all platforms. So I'll use myself as an example. So on Instagram, I started doing a lot of content around business management, tools that you should use, pain points for Black women. Are you exhausted? Are you burnt out? Are you tired of, paying for insight from coaches, and you in the meeting still confused and have to pay for another one, right? I use all of these things, right? And what started to happen, so I'll say since November, right? What started to happen is I got 700 more followers since November, but guess what? because I was using this language in virtually all of my posts. If you follow me on Instagram, you understand, you know I'm telling the truth. I know that it's an 85% chance that those followers are there because of my business, not because they know me personally. Right? So I use targeted marketing. I'm speaking to my customer avatar on Instagram. Since November, I've gotten 700 more followers. I know that these people are potential customers because I'm actually speaking to them. I'm speaking their language, right? And then what I start doing is diving into the data to understand how to go in even further. And I'm telling you this because this is strategy and this is what you should be doing. And we're gonna join them. WJD is all about them and who they are. So I was able to do posts. I try to do at least 3 posts a day because it gives me data. So when I go into Instagram Insights, every single platform you use will have insights, right? So what I'm telling you, write this down and leverage this for whatever marketing platforms you're using, because you should not be pushing, paying and pushing data out there, pushing marketing out there and not knowing what happened. So when I look at the insights, I look for a few things, right? For instance, I look for which posts have the most likes, right? I think everybody gets that piece, right? But that just lets me know, right, that this is the stuff that resonates with my people, right? And it's not necessarily pictures, right? Sometimes it's really saying like, walk away from that thing that is bothering you. If I see a lot of likes on that, and I know it's probably coming from my target customers, I know that they're entangled in some things or yoked up in some things, right, that are really, really bothering them, right? And they need help getting out of those toxic partnerships, right? And this is literally how I have to dissect this, right? So I look at what has the most likes because it just gives me the kind of content that my customers really, really like, right? And so I can lean into that even more, right? And probably get more and more followers because these people, which gives me to my next metric, will probably share it. So I look at what has the most shares. Shares is fire because it exponentially, right, increases your reach. If certain content is going to be shared by my target customers, it's very likely that their followers are just like them, not all of them, right? But a good portion of them probably will be, right? So that expands my reach to my target customers. So I look at my insights and see which types of posts gets the most shares. What I found on my side, again, you have to actually put stuff out there to get data and read it. What I found on my side is the quotes are what gets the most shares, right? And it's not the pictures. So very, very short quotes that says something like, I was created for this. So an affirmation post, right? A very short post that says, literally one of my most recent ones that got the most shares said, sometimes you have to stop explaining yourself and just walk away, right? And again, I've learned my target customers enough that I know that like that always gets in their house, you know? So it has a lot of shares. So I look and see what gets the most shares, and I lean into that. I hope you're writing this down. I hope it makes sense. Give me feedback, just so I understand whether I'm in your vein or not. But shares. Another thing I look for, and this is important, right? For my particular business, and because I'm doing coaching for Black women, I look and see what got the most saves. Because whenever y'all save something, it means you're gonna come back and chew on it more. It means you want to look at that for the long haul, right? If this is not just something you're sharing and giving to everybody else, like this hits so deeply that you need to come and look at this again, right? I see what types of posts gets the most saves, right? And that shows me who my sticky customers probably are going to be, right? The people who really want a certain type of service, not a touch and go, maybe a webinar, but somebody who really wants training. Because so for me, the post that gets the most saves are the ones where I'm really dissecting things, such as the difference between growth and scale, right? Where I'm really giving solutions to their problems, such as a video that says, if you want to apply for the PPP loan, these are the top three things you need to know. Those people that say that, I know that these are customers, right? So then I can go and inbox these people and say, hey, if you'd like to talk to me, a 20-minute discussion on, blah, 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 or hey, I have this XYZ, right? So these are the different things you do to drill into the data. You have to put it out there to get data in the first place, right? To really drill into the data to understand what's working and what does not work. And the beauty of that is once you see what's not working, you can switch strategies. You don't have to keep doing it. But when you just putting something out there and you're not getting any feedback because you're not looking for it, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time, you're missing opportunities, etc. Beautiful. Okay, so Latanya says yes, this is hitting. Beautiful. Nina says yes, Casey, all of this makes sense. Okay, beautiful. So those are the 3 prongs. We will join them. Is WWJD, like I'm telling y'all, whenever you are thinking about how to find your customers, how to get them to show up for an event that you're doing, how to get them on your mailing list, etc. It is not begging them to get up off of the sofa, go find you where you are, inconvenience themselves, and then get something that's just generic and seems like it's speaking to everybody. It is fleshing out their avatar, understanding who they are, understanding their pain points, doing market research. Like I said, it's so simple to get that data back from them, right? And then throwing some stuff out there very, very, very consistently, right? And start looking at the data to see how your target customers are reacting. And again, for me, I know that whatever is happening are from my target customers because I've gotten 700 new followers since I've started, putting out content for my target customer. And then they're telling me what they want. They're telling me what they're saving. They're telling me what their network wants, etc. So you can do the same thing with Facebook. You can do the same thing with Google search. I mean, once you start getting this kind of insight, I know what information my people really want. So I can go make a Google search ad that aligns to certain words because my people are telling me what they need, right? What really resonates with them, and pick up even more customers. And then from that, I can look at that Google search. I can look at the analytics from that, how many people click the link, right? How long they stayed on the page. It gives all of this analytical data. How many sales converted from that click link? How many people joined my email list? Like literally all of this goes into that. And this illustrates the point of you start somewhere, you get really, really, really good at it. You're going to get so good that you're doing it very, very quickly. So you have time to go to other places. So I just mentioned, and I do this, I'm being honest. Started at Instagram. Now I'm leveraging Google searches, right? Because I have that much data. I know who they are, right? But I'm looking at that data as well, understanding what works very, very well. If anything's not working well, I can switch up my strategy. But I know if it's not working well because I'm literally looking at the stats. How much money did I make from this? How many clicks did I have? Was it less clicks or more clicks than the ad I had before, right? And then taking that same strategy and going to Facebook ads and trying, you'll get there, right? But give yourself grace. Black women, do not try to do it all because if you're doing it all, you're doing it wrong. Give yourself grace and give yourself time to ramp up, right? Because you will ramp up and then leverage those same insights and those same methodologies across other platforms. So the answer to the beginning questions was there is no one best place. It depends on who your customer is, right? And so start with the avatar, figure out, what they really want by doing market research and then putting stuff out there, throw stuff out there and then get insights from that data, from what they're telling you. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have come on the camera. Y'all dropped your business all in the chat. I appreciate that so much. I don't want to talk your head off. I think y'all really, really got this. I'm going to quiz you really, really quickly just to make sure y'all with me. I think y'all are going to ace this. Let's see which one I want to drop in here. This is easy. I'll just do one and then I'll wrap up because I think y'all have this. I mean, when I say easy, I mean easy. But while you're answering this, I'll tell you, there are people who have been in business for years. I know because I've talked to them. I know because I've linked to them. I know because I'm speaking to CEOs and CFOs today, right? And I definitely have in the past. And some of them don't understand this, right? So I promise you, this is money. This is golden. Okay, so what should your primary tool for marketing to customers be? And 100% said it depends. Exactly right. It depends. Okay, now we have a Google search ad. The answer is it could be all of the above, right? But you have to baby step yourself into that so you get very, very good. So it does depend, right? But once you get good at something, you understand how to leverage all of these tools so that it can be one day. And I to answer, like to say, I use all of these. I use webinars. I use hyper-targeted ads. Hyper-targeted means I know who you are so well that I have like put in the specs to say this aged woman, this woman who's interested in this TV show. I literally do this in my ads. This woman who is Black, this woman who is interested in small businesses and uses the hashtag Black girl. I hyper-targeted, right? So that every dollar I'm spending literally goes to my target customer. I use Google search ads. I use Facebook group ads. Creating a community is something I might want to think about. I create Facebook communities where people can just chill in there, right? Because it's not just you sending emails, it's you've actually formed a relationship in a tribe, right? And these people are more likely to be sticky. And then it just depends, right? It depends on where you are today and where you're going. So to end, I just want to say, I mentioned this before. Actually, Nina's actually a student. Love you so much, Nina. But I want to share that there is a 6-week Blaze Business Intensive program that I offer for Black women. I cape so hard for Black women, but it has this same type of style. It is teaching you in terms you understand, using examples that are relevant to you, right? And really helping you to elevate your business. So the difference between this course and this webinar, for instance, is you have templates and workbooks and actual models to actually apply it to your business live. As you step through the course. It hits all points such as budgeting, cash flow projections, automation, which is huge. I talk about automation all the time, and strategy execution. It hits networking principles because you should network for net worth 100%. And it teaches you as well how to identify your most profitable skills. We sometimes make the mistake of being a hobbyist versus a professional. If this is your business, you need to lean into your most profitable skills. It teaches you how to do that. I will share a video from one of my students. Amazing woman based in California, where she'll share some of her real-time, feedback as she stepped through the course.
Hello, my name is Queen Atapa. I am a hairstylist and master cutter. I work at a salon in San Francisco, California, and my goal is to become a business owner and to own my own salon, and also jumpstart my master cutting course and make it accessible to stylists all over the world to be able to learn my cutting technique. Once I heard about Casey Richardson's business development program, I knew it was for me. The course has only been a short period of time, but I have learned so much. In the beginning of the course, it was a quote that specifically stuck out for me, and it read, "Be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. Mark Amend." This quote resonated with me because in life, and specifically in business, I try to do everything myself, right? I'm shy when it comes to asking for help, but I'm learning more throughout this program is no one can do it alone. Physically, it's impossible. It's very important to know your strengths, right? And to strive on your strengths, but it's also very important to know your weaknesses and the areas that you're weak or that you lack, then you seek help, right? That's what makes a better business person. For me, I'm very meticulous, so a lot of times it's hard for me to put out content because I feel like it's not good enough or it's not perfect. And I'm learning throughout this program that you don't strive for perfection, you're striving for completion. So regardless if you feel it's perfect or good enough, put the content out there, right? As long as it's complete, and commit to results. So throughout this program, I have definitely learned different ways how I want my business to excel. And there's so many light bulbs that have went off in my head, and it just excites me even more. Moving forward, the next course that we're going to be learning is budgeting, automation, strategy, and execution. So the course itself is very robust, but if you're willing to put in the work, you definitely will succeed. Casey is here to help you. We have counseling sessions with her. You can email her at any time. We have Wind Down Wednesdays, which is is really unique. So that's when, you know, a group of us ladies on Zoom, we ask questions on some of the homework that we don't understand, and just to be able to talk and relate. I'm really excited about this course. We have, I want to say, about 4 more weeks to go, but so far I've learned so much. So I highly, highly recommend, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an entrepreneur, or whether you just want to be business savvy and learn more about business, highly recommend taking this course. It is definitely, definitely worth it.
Alrighty. So I hope that was helpful. Again, that is related to the Blaze Business Intensive. It truly is a powerful, robust program created with Black women in mind throughout the entire process. Gives you affirmations that are so needed along the way. Comes with a tribe of like-minded Black female entrepreneurs, because accountability is huge. As Queen mentioned in the video, I do Wind Down Wednesdays every single Wednesday, which gives students the ability to ask questions, to get some feedback on new ideas they have for implementation in their businesses. And then just to commune, right? Because I think sounding boards are good as well, right? And that never stops, right? So if you just want to get anything off of your chest with some wine, I'm there every single Wednesday. So I've put a special offer in this box right now. There's 1 hour and 25 minutes left on the clock to take advantage of that offer. But I mean it. It's definitely transformational. I've gotten nothing but really, really strong feedback from the program, which is important because it's all about edifying Black women. This has nothing to do with me. I've committed my life, truly committed my life to serving us, to making sure that we are on the other side of tables that we are not at today. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be, right? So the program, it starts with a kickstart session with me, where I make sure that I understand who you are, what your business goals are, etc. And I make sure I know how to best support you as you step through the course. Like I mentioned, there's a tribe, like-minded Black women. Wind Down Wednesdays to support you. Homework for every single module. It's a 6-week course with 6 modules, so that you actually apply it to your business real time. And then there are really fire events that take place as well, that it helps you to really leverage what you're learning about networking and really network for net worth. So if you're interested, this special offer is available for a limited time. Definitely do leverage that link. And that's all for today. I'm so happy and honored to have shared this space with you. You mean so much to me. You are so important to the world, not just because of what you give, right? Because we give so much, we save so many people, we carry so much on our shoulders. But you are important because of the legacy that you lead. Your gifts are important. They do not belong to you. God has given it to you to impact others, to transform others, to solve their pain points, to stop the bleeding from the gunshot wounds, right? To birth things, not just people, right? But things that are transformational in the universe. So I'm so honored to share this space with you. Blaze stands for Building Leaders and Accepting Zero Excuses. That is the motto, that's the energy, and we keep it up 365, 24/7. But I appreciate this time today, and I do hope that we can connect even deeper, right, through the Blaze Business Intensive program. I've never not seen results through it, so I hope you join. All right, well, that is it, ladies. It's been a power hour. Thank you so much for taking out the time for yourself, and keep going, sis. I will let you all go. Bye. Thank you so